So interacting with comments on the videos here, and this person asks a good question. Do I think that the mark of the beast will happen soon? Well, let's get into that. Here on my channel, you can find a series I was doing in Colorado, teaching through the Revelation. I didn't finish the series, but you can kind of gain at least some idea of what I think. I'm not a preterist. I don't believe that the book of the Revelation pertains only to, say, the first century or the time of the destruction of the temple under Titus. Nor am I a futurist. I don't believe that the book of the Revelation applies only to the last 7 years of world history. And instead, I believe that the Revelation meant something the day it was written. It meant something to the 2nd century church, to the 5th century, to the 9th century. Every Christian who has ever, throughout church history, read the Revelation, it said something to them in their day and their age. And I believe the same is true today. The mark of the beast is mentioned in the Revelation chapter 13. And so we're quite a ways into the book by this point, and a lot of interpretive has already been given in order to even get to chapter 13. Chapter 13 begins with the dragon from chapter 12, and he's standing on the seashore, and here comes the first beast. Now, the first beast is very much like a beast right out of Daniel. And in Daniel, those beasts often represented governments or kingdoms or nations that would oppose the people of God. And I believe that this beast in the first part of Revelation 13 is the same. It's government that will oppose the people of God. The second beast is quite different. He rises from the earth. And that phrase reminds me of James chapter 3, verse 15, where the wisdom that is from the earth. The second beast has 2 horns, and it says, like a lamb. That tells me, seeing as how the lamb is Jesus, that this is a beast much like the other counterfeits throughout the Revelation. This is a counterfeit. A counterfeit religion or a counterfeit philosophy. The first beast opposes the people of God. So Rome in the first century would be a good example, but throughout church history, there have been numerous governments that have opposed the people of God. The second beast then is false religion or philosophy that also opposes the people of God, the church. But does so in a way trying to look like the lamb. And so I think about 2 Corinthians chapter 11, where Paul says that even Satan can appear as an angel of light. In the first century, Rome could literally kill Christians. Throughout world history, there have been governments opposed to Christianity, opposed to the church, who also have literally killed Christians. Today, there are parts of the world where the government can kill you if you are a part of the church. Now, in some cases, false religions and false philosophies have only served their government in eradicating or trying to eradicate the church. The mark of the beast is a counterfeit. Back in Revelation chapter 7, the people of God were marked on their forehead with a mark that signified they belonged to God. This is also a counterfeit from Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 9. There, the word of God is to be on your forehead and on your hand. Going with that kind of symbolism, the forehead, a person's thought life, a person's philosophy, what they believe in their head, and their right hand, of course, the hand of doing, the hand of action, the hand of trade. But now, wait a minute. What about the whole? Without the mark, you can neither buy nor sell. in the first century, once again, perhaps you belonged to a trade guild, and that trade guild had a patron deity, a pagan patron deity, and you, becoming a Christian, you stopped worshiping false gods, so you stopped worshiping your patron deity. The trade guild could try to kick you out of the business, and that could affect you economically as well. There are places, once again, throughout church history, that if you were not part of the false religion or the false philosophy, thinking of Marx, then they would exclude you from commerce and business and owning a house or living there or things like that. Today in the West, Satan's ability to use death is greatly hindered. It's not impossible, though, for Satan to use death here in the West. But I think also of the baker there in Denver who wouldn't make a cake for a certain philosophy. And that philosophy then went about trying to put him out of business. And so I hope that shed some light on the question. I believe that the mark of the beast has been, I think the mark of the beast is, and I think the mark of the beast will continue to be.